Thank you for joining us in another episode of Monday Re Tsene with the Pretoria Psychologists. My name is Meridian Mawelele, and I'll be speaking to you today about the different phases of life. My interest today is specifically on the senior citizens. Often we talk about many things: young people, women, gender-based violence, men and mental health, but it seems we tend to forget about these precious senior citizens of ours, our grandparents, our grand uncles and grandfathers. And these are the people whose backs we have built our lives on. But they are also impacted by the difficulties of life, and their mental health also is at risk, especially as older as they grow. According to the World Health Organization, 6.6% of elderly people do suffer from mental health problems, with 15% of them resulting in a disability. What we need to take into consideration is that older people also are challenged by the different things in life. Just because they are older, or maybe they don't have a job, or they're staying at home, it doesn't mean that they are not at risk of life challenges that are going to impact on their mental health. In fact, we find that mental health does impact the elderly, especially things such as depression, anxiety, dementia. There are a lot of changes that take place in a person's life, especially now towards the end of a person's life. There's a lot of reevaluation that they do, to starting to realize that, my life is coming to an end. I don't have a career. My children are too busy. What else should I be doing now that I'm older? And some are impacted by financial difficulties, especially when they go into retirement, or not being physically able to start working. And all of these things can have a negative impact on their mental health. At times, due to illness or the ability to not be able to navigate or move about as easily due to physical impediments or physical illness and things like that, they tend to be isolated and left alone in their homes. This means they're not able to gather in social events, or they're not able to visit friends or go out as they used to due to limitations in mobility. So the isolation can take a big knock on their mood, and therefore may come to result in a form of depression or a depressed mood. So we need to take into cognizance and recognize and identify some of these things that could be risk factors for our elderly citizens, and understand that they also do go through difficult things. They might be experienced in life, but no one really has a lot of experience in the different phase of life that they go into, and nothing really prepares you for any phase of life that you encounter. That is the same for our elderly people and the senior citizens in our nation. So it is our responsibility as family members, young people, community members, and also healthcare workers to take care and recognize all the signs that could be there that our senior citizens are experiencing some form of mental health challenges. What we need to look at is, how is this person interacting with others? Are they actually out there, or are they isolated? Does this put them at risk of depression or anxiety? Or maybe this very anxiety is the reason that they're afraid to go outside. They might fear, for instance, that I can't go out to the public because it's a bit dangerous. I won't be able to navigate. I don't feel safe. So we need to look out for these things. And also, what are the signs, early signs of dementia that are there? Are they forgetful more than usual? Older people, yes, tend to be forgetful, but are there early signs of forgetfulness and disorientation, or difficulty recognizing people that are familiar or their children? Then we need to start taking care and perhaps getting in the support that is needed earlier on. And research also shows us that mental health issues are less identified in the elderly. Maybe because of the assumption that older people don't encounter mental health problems. But we need to stop and recognize that our elderly people also are at risk of suffering from mental health problems. There are a lot of things that we can help our elderlies with. For instance, physical exercise. They don't have to go to the gym or pick up weights and do all these hectic things that their bodies are not able to do. but a simple thing such as walking, just helping the elderly person to go for a little walk outside, to stand up from their bed or from their couch and go walk outside and see the sun and be exposed to the lights, and sometimes taking them for walks in parks or getting them out there in the mall so that they feel like, you know, they're still part of society, because they play a big part in contributing to society. Some of them take care of our little children when we go to work, or some of them still take care of our families even in their old age. So we also need to play our part and give back and support them. So through physical exercise, that would be really helpful in reducing the impact of mental health difficulties. The other thing that could help improve mental health difficulties for elderly people is ensuring that their living conditions are really good. There's nothing worse than fearing for your life and your health, but living in a condition that is not effective or conducive to your age. We need to ensure that they live in a space that is safe, that is secure, and that they're able to move about as safe as possible. For instance, making sure that their bedroom is not necessarily upstairs where they have to climb up the stairs, making sure that they have a comfortable bed low enough for them to be able to get on and off without requiring excessive help. Because some of them don't really like asking for help, because this, for them, it means that they're unable to do these things by themselves. So we try to create an environment that is going to help them feel able, and also ensuring that they are safe while they try these different things at an elderly age. And thirdly, we could also help our elderly people to be involved in different social activities, not only in the families, but in the communities. Maybe there's another group of elderly people in the community or in the street that are doing different things, maybe planting gardens, or have a sewing club, or have a reading club. We can help them organize these social events just to help them feel that they're still part of the bigger community and that they're integrated. The worst thing that we can do for our senior citizens is treat them as if they're not existent, that they're little children, they cannot make up their mind, but we have to involve them in day-to-day decisions, help them understand what is going on, and exercise a little bit of patience. Just imagine that you know nothing about the world that we're living in currently, because everything has changed and everyone around you is being impatient. That can be difficult and very frustrating. So we need to exercise a little bit of grace and support for our elderly people. And lastly, what we could also look at is any available programs within our communities, say for instance our clinics, our hospitals, and anything that is organized in our communities that is targeting vulnerable elderly citizens. For instance, we don't want our elderly citizens to be exposed to abuse and violence. What is out there in our communities to ensure the safety of our citizens, and making them aware of these services and these programs can also help to put them at ease. For instance, if there's a local policing forum that is making sure that the elderly people have the help that they need, making an elderly person aware of this program can help them feel like, you know what, I'm in charge. Should anything happen, I know who to call and who is there available for me. In some townships, elderly people or even just middle-aged people have a whistle that is helping them feel like they're part of a community, and they can reach out to other people through blowing a whistle in case there is an intruder. Sometimes we need to involve our elderly people in such programs so that they can feel safe, and this way reducing the stress and the fear of being vulnerable to any violence in the nation. So let's not be ignorant of the fact that we are living among a lot of elderly people, and we need to take care of their mental health. Just because they're older, it doesn't mean that we don't care about their mental health. If you know an elderly person around you, and you know that maybe they live by themselves or they don't have anyone particularly looking after them, take a moment today and go see them, find out how they're doing, and if they need anything. It could be as simple as getting them a glass of water and asking if they want to go sit outside. And let's do our part in taking care of the mental health of our elderly citizens. Thank you for tuning in, and see you next time.